Very good. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Alan Harris, Emergency Manager, Chief Administrator of the Office of Emergency Management here for Seminole County. It seems like we were just here. Flu season has come back quite quickly. I know with COVID, everything seems compressed, and at least for me, time seems compressed, but we wanted to get together today, some of us for the second time, and then we thank Dr. Seniors from True Health coming to visit us this time to express how important it is this season to not only get the vaccine for COVID, but the vaccine for the flu as well. Every flu season we promote the vaccine for flu, and of course this flu season is no different. So I have a couple questions that I'll ask to the moderators that are up here on the panel, and then we'll open it up to the media for any questions. And I'll just go down the line. Dr. Seniors, can you tell us about True Health and how True Health is helping with getting the flu vaccine out this year?
All right. Good morning, everybody. True Health is a federally qualified community health center. We have 7 locations, 4 of which are in Orange County and 3 of which are in Seminole County. We've been in existence since 1977, and we do a lot of primary care, OB, behavioral health, dental, and numerous other services. For this last year and a half, of course, we've been really trying to be a safety care provider and making sure that, people are getting their COVID vaccines, COVID testing, as well as infusion therapy. But now it's influenza season. So True Health on our side of it, we are about to start rolling out for flu shots where, patients who, people who've been with our organization are able to come in. Children ages 2 and up are able to receive influenza shots. Adults are able to get influenza shots. And we're here and ready to provide those on a daily basis.
Thank you, Dr. Seniors. Dr. Husty, Medical Director for Seminole County. How important is it for us to get the flu vaccine and the COVID vaccine?
I think, Alan, this year it's going to be a little bit easier to convince people that viruses can be dangerous and that viruses can make you, at minimum, really sick for 10 to 14 days. And some people get admitted, and some people even die. And the flu has always done that. So that's why we just really want people to not have to go through that. Prevention's better than cure. Yes, there are medications that you can take once you get the flu if you get it quickly. But you know what? Prevention is better than cure. Did I say that about COVID or did I say that about the flu? Yeah, both. And so there we are. Please, and the other thing, you really don't want to get COVID and the flu at the same time. You've been COVID vaccinated? No, you don't want to get the flu. You could get a breakthrough case of COVID and then get the flu on top of it. And one last note. Where'd the flu go last year? I mean, did it decide, I think we're all going to just hang out in South America because it's easier and there's too much competition up north? No, we wore masks and social distance. And I think I wear a mask when I go to the grocery store for both COVID and now the flu also. I mean, it really worked. I mean, think about it. We really kept the flu away. So I'm not saying that we have to wear masks every minute of the day and et cetera, but it's not hurting to do so. It helps for COVID, and it helps for the flu.
Thank you. Donna Walsh, Director for the Florida Department of Health, Seminole County. When you get the vaccine, there is a possibility you could get the flu, and there's some myths out there related to that. Why is it still important to get the vaccine?
Well, the flu vaccine historically has been about 40 to 60% effective, and something that we learned with the COVID vaccine, a different technology, when it was announced that it was like in the 90 percentiles effective, it was like, wow, much more than what we expected. So although the flu vaccine may not be as effective as COVID vaccine, for instance, it is still proven to be effective, in preventing serious illnesses, complications, and hospitalizations. So it's still very important to get your flu vaccine.
Excellent. Dr. Hendricks, Chief Medical Officer for the Advent Health CentraCare, I really appreciate you being here with us again. Can you talk about Advent Health and how they're pushing forward with the flu vaccine this year?
Well, thank you for having us this morning, and we're honored to be here and talk about the importance of flu vaccine. And Advent Health and CentraCare, we recognize that importance, trying to get the message out every year to people to get their flu shot, because people don't, have that misunderstanding that the flu is a minor illness, and it's not. It's a serious illness. And what I see at CentraCare every year is people that come in sick with the flu, and I always ask them, did you get your flu shot? And if their response is no, I say, are you going to get it next year? And they're like, definitely. They don't never want to be that sick again. So this is a serious illness combined with another serious infection that's going through with COVID. And we have two very effective vaccines, very safe vaccines. And we need to make sure everybody's not only vaccinated against COVID, that's our priority, but also against influenza. So at CentraCare, we have the vaccine, the flu vaccine available. At some of our 5 or 6 of our local centers are also offering the COVID-19 vaccine. So as Dr. Husty indicated, it's better to prevent an infection than to deal with it and try to treat that. So get your vaccine. Now's the time to get your flu vaccine, and you can get them both simultaneously. The CDC says it's safe. If you need the COVID and the flu, you can get them at the same time.
Excellent. Questions from the media?
So I don't want to ask that, so you don't have to stagger and wait. I mean, if the people are in line for perhaps their first dose or for their second dose or for the people that qualify the third dose, you don't have to like do one and then wait 2 weeks.
You're correct. All indicators are with COVID vaccines that there is no contraindication. There's no problems with giving other vaccines, so that's not expected to be a problem with the flu vaccine. So there's a lot of groundwork that's been done since the COVID vaccine came out earlier this year, and the evidence shows that this is safe to give together with other vaccines. And we give combined vaccines to children all the time. The MMR is 3 different vaccines together for measles, mumps, and rubella, for instance.
Dr. Husky touched on this, so whoever, either Dr. Hendricks or Dr. Husky, I know we usually look to the globe to see how the flu season is shaping up and how that's going to be an indicator of here locally. What are we expecting? A worse flu season? I mean, especially since we don't have the masks in place anymore, like last year, or worse, better, the same?
Donna, what do you know about South America?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know that anybody can really project what this flu season is going to be like. Obviously, you all are aware that last flu season, as Dr. Husky mentioned, was a lot lighter than expected, probably mostly because we took those mitigated or practiced those mitigating measures to prevent the transmission of any virus, honestly. Certainly, flu is still around, that we know. And is there a risk for the flu season to be as severe as it has in years past? Absolutely. So we're preparing for that event because, as the COVID cases start to decline and people relax their, practices, certainly there's more opportunity for that virus to spread. So I don't know that any of our experts has an answer for that, but we're going to plan as if this is this very normal flu season and we want to protect people.
And I agree with everything that Donna's saying. I mean, the main thing is to protect yourself and to protect your family. So the thing is, instead of waiting and watching and waiting and seeing what's going to happen, we already know COVID is out here and we know the flu is coming. So go ahead, go out, get your vaccine, have your children vaccinated, have yourself vaccinated. That way you're protecting yourself, your family, the people who can't get out and about. That way you're not bringing something back to them. So this is the time to take care of yourself as well as everyone else in your community.
Winter is coming.
Just about, I think Husky made a good point too. Kind of driving again that point home for those who, for whatever reason, aren't hearing the message of prevention. It's better to be prepared. Prevention is key rather than waiting until.
So an old adage is an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. In this case, a little tiny bit of prevention is worth a ton of cure, and both for COVID and for the flu. So please just understand the science. The science is really good. Flu shots are safe. COVID shots are safe. Get vaccinated for both. It's so much easier than having to go through having the disease or trying to get treated for it, even though we have decent treatments for COVID and for the flu. Why go there?
I know that we're encouraging everyone to get a flu shot, but there are particular age groups or people that are more susceptible to higher disease or higher or worse symptoms compared to maybe others.
Yes, all of them.
Well, there are different formulations of the flu vaccine, so it is indicated for 6 months and older. There's a pediatric formulation. There's one that is considered high dose for those who are 65 years and older, because as you're mentioning, some people may fall in that category of being more susceptible to complications. So the flu vaccine does allow for that every year. And just an added note that the health department is currently providing and offering the flu vaccine at our 400 West Airport Boulevard location. We also have COVID vaccines, so in the event somebody needs both, we can certainly accommodate.
And again, just to piggyback on what Donna is saying, everybody should get their flu shot, whether you're a healthy person or somebody who has comorbidities. So it's the same thing. If you have hypertension, diabetes, kidney disease, chronic, other medical conditions, you should definitely be getting your flu shot, because, again, if you get sick, you're probably going to be at a worsening condition and actually can deteriorate. And right now with COVID out there as well, that's two at the same time. And so things that may have been light for some people are not going to be light for everybody. And Donna is absolutely correct. There's different formulations for 6 months and up. Even for the elderly, there's the quadrivalent type, which actually helps try and protect for 4 different types of flu. So it is very important and imperative for everyone to get their flu shots. True Health is also offering flu shots for ages 6 months and up, and we're also here in Sanford and Seminole County as well at 4730 East Lake Mary Boulevard, where we'll also be helping with that effort.
So just to clarify, I think I'm the only one up here who qualifies to get the big shot.
I'm not saying anything.
Let's see one of you guys get the shot, if we can.
Sure.
Any other questions?
Good. I just have one more, sorry.
Sure.
I know the concern during COVID was hospitals being overwhelmed, and obviously we are seeing a decline in cases, thank goodness, locally. Is there a fear, now that we're throwing flu in the mix, that we could see hospitals being overwhelmed?
I think that's always a concern, and then, we always look at history when we look at any type of disaster, and we look at last year, and we're coming up on the holiday season. And we saw what happened in the holiday season without the Delta variant. Over Thanksgiving and over Christmas, we saw a spike in January, and it came down, of course, in February and March. We hope that that does not repeat again this year, but we want to be prepared for that. And how do we prepare for that? Getting the vaccine.
So this is not about COVID, but I need to say is what I think we're all pretty convinced that COVID immunity from the vaccine is waning. So the third dose is now being expanded, and there's a good reason for that. But if you think about it, so that means there are more people that are susceptible, and as we go into the holidays, we could have more people getting it, and you get the flu on top of that. I think that was a good question, is could that be a problem for us in our hospitals? And yeah, it certainly could.
No others?
Any other questions?
All right, then we have Connie here that does amazing at giving vaccines, given tens of thousands, I think, to COVID. 50,000?
It was 60.
60,000.
Wow. So, there you go.
In her career?
I want you to notice the twinkle in her eye she gets when she sticks this with the needle.
As I say, does she get the golden syringe when she retires? Yeah. Not a golden watch.
She's been with us for a long while. She actually retired and came back.
Oh, okay.
To help us with the COVID.
Can I ask one more question?
that's
while she
awesome.
gets set up?
Sure.
Obviously, we saw COVID vaccine hesitancy. Do we anticipate the same with the flu vaccine hesitancy among that? Maybe.
We see people that are hesitant to get their flu vaccine, but not to the degree of COVID. With flu, we've got many years of experience with the flu vaccine, and it has a well-established safety profile. So it's a very known entity. The COVID vaccine, although only has come out a year ago, well, not quite a year ago, 11 months ago. I'm losing count. Seems like a year. But, with the COVID vaccine, we have had, 300 million people receive the vaccine and no serious adverse reactions. So may not be as long of a history, but definitely a lot of experience in the last year with COVID. So we really encourage people to get both vaccines. Of course, we're dealing with the hesitancy with COVID, but with flu, I don't see it as much. I think it was about 50% of the population, or is it 40% every year gets a flu shot? Mostly older people and kids, but we want to make sure everybody gets that. And the thing I point out, and actually I talked to somebody this week that had gotten their COVID vaccine. They were hesitant about it, but kept hearing me tell about how important it was. And they were like, you said it's important for me to get my COVID to protect my family, not just myself. And that was the key message that made them go get their vaccine. Same thing I preach every year with the flu vaccine is it's not just about you, but you can prevent bringing the virus home, the flu virus or COVID virus home to the fragile members of your family, grandma, grandpa. So do it for grandma. Get your flu vaccine.
Start with Dr.
Hendricks?
Oh, really?
By the way,
She gets to warm up on me.
From the flu vaccine.
You're not afraid of needles, are you?
Left is fine.
I am.
I wore the short sleeve shirt today.
I don't look.
111.65.
Do you?
There you go. You got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct me if I'm wrong, last year,
Notice
we
you're
had
allergic to penicillin, there's no penicillin in this flu vaccine.
last year.
You know, that's a good
Hold that or
I can't remember.
I think there was.
I like
There was.
that.
Yes, I think there was an increase.
Did you say
Okay,
my
we have to
muscles
be quiet
soft?
so we can hear it. Don't step in his mic.
Softer,
No one-
less discomfort.
I can't watch.
I know, I don't either.
Yeah, I just turned my head.
All done.
All right, thank you.
She's got a gentle hand.
Yes, very good.
Yes.
No tears.
I know, right?
Take a little ball from your towel or whatever you normally do for discomfort.
Excellent, thank you.
Fluid.
Oh, yeah, stay hydrated, move the arm around.
I had a
Breathing doctor.
surprise.
Hey, you love giving doctors shots, too, I'm
I
sure.
know. Yes,
Good.
ma'am.
And his mom swore that
I,
she
my
hadn't had a shot last year. The nurses go,
Better
all
to
right,
give than to receive.
I got to talk to her when she watches
Being
the
a doctor of a father in the military, every time we got stationed somewhere else, we had to line up for
And you
the
got to have,
And I just thought, you know
I
what?
got to have something. It's been a while. I just rolled it myself.
Oh, we'll have plenty of Pfizer available, so we'll order whatever's necessary for the third dose booster. We've planned some special events for next week. We knew that was coming, so we had already started talking about that months ago. Florida Department of Health and Seminole County working together. We'll do special events until the private pharmacies don't have the huge demand. As soon as they can meet that demand, we won't, we'll kind of back out.
Can I give Todd his shot?
Sure.
It's been about last flu season, yeah. About a year, I have to warm up again.
Ronnie has given me many a vaccine.
First shot I ever gave, I stuck the needle in and it scared me so much I pulled it out again.
Oh, no.
And I hadn't injected it yet. I had to hit him again.
I hope you didn't say oops.
I did.
You did oops. Oh, you did oops.
Oh, yeah. It was like, she did.
I have one nurse, a kid, who wouldn't take the needle out until like count to 3.
Really?
Yes. Traumatized me. She said, count to 3. I'm like, she said, count to 3, I'll take it out. I'm like, okay.
What?
Yeah.
I just figure, since you were on the end, it was a little easier, but inside here it's.
Yeah, I was going to move, but yeah, that's good. Yeah, I kept pulling her arm down. I said, relax. I even just want to
That's not gonna relax.
Guns.
Gun show.
Guns. Yeah.
Gun show.
It's like, oh, come on. And every woman I've told that story to, they're like, yeah, I totally get it.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you very much.
Goody goody. I have a question. What does Fluff Wreath Lori Duff mean?
Oh, thank you.
Information sheet.
Thank you, thank you. She has a gentle hand.
I guess we don't have to sit down.
We did. Yes, we have it. I think we got it last week.
Undoubtedly challenged the chair.
Wasn't it last year was delayed?
It was.
Yeah.
It was, because that's why we had to, thank you for helping us last year. We had to ask you all to provide it for Dr. Huston. Remember? Because we didn't get it in until later.
Tell the story that one time that I got a shot.
Yeah, but your nurse last time, right? Or was it your nurse?
It was
I
It
just
was
brought
our
the
nurse,
vaccine.
Catherine.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I can't remember coming with an ice chest.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, so this isn't his first year requiring a high risk.
No, this is his.
So for those of us keeping track,
That's right.
I had shot that affects me one time, but the last three numbers I heard was 151. That shot was like early.
Yeah.
For those folks on SGTV, we want to thank you for being with us today. We hope that you will get your flu shot this year and your COVID vaccine if you haven't. Please see the Florida Department of Health or True Health or Advent Health's websites for more information. Thank you for participating today.